Hello and welcome back. I'm seeing myself looking like always, like a little bit of a squirrel. Probably that's why I'm always saying, oh, it's a squirrel, it's a squirrel. Welcome back. It's International Salesperation time. The place to go for you on a Thursday. For me, a little bit late Thursday, so end of my working day. That's not right. In the kind of endish version of my working day. And the place to go when you want more money in your bank account. Yeah, that's basically what you're doing at Feminist Economy. We're here for making you money, helping you making money. That's what we're doing. And getting everything out of the way, which stands in that. And today it's salesperation and focus. No, not on the focus on like focus that you just should do one thing, not multiple things. No, that's not the focus I'm talking about. Today is about that other kind of focus. That other kind of focus where you think about reach or sympathy. Both are evils if you should focus on the money. That's all about. Yeah, it's the salesperation where it's not only about sales, but about the results of sales. So let's take a step back. And if you think about like in which day we are in 2020, it's ending the end of the year in 2020, we're in November, we're in the last stretch, we're in the last realm, and we're in a very, very important time, because if you work with B2B clients and need budget lines, when are the meetings? You're right, they are now. Budget lines will be now decided in already since like end of October now, but now till the mid-December, budget lines are new scrambled, new given away, mostly decisions are made. Yes, there will be a little bit of an overhaul into 2021, considering the global pandemic we're still in, and also the US election did always, every 4 years, the US election also shifts the time of budget discussion internationally, because it's one of the biggest economies around the world and one of our biggest and global partners all of us have. If you're in the US, of course, it's the way around, but that's every 4 years. The budget line discussion is a little bit later than normal. So we're now, because it's an election year, in the middle of these budget line discussion. So it doesn't matter if you work with B2C clients, then of course it's now a hard and heavy time, because it's the final stretch of establishing your final sales. On the other hand, if you're in a B2B market, it's the final time to get into that budget lines. So while probably everyone should be focused on money, it's not always that easy, especially if you're working with a digital strategy. And you should have, hopefully by now, have a digital sales strategy. And some even still don't have one, even if they have digital products, and then they still rely on one cornerstone, on one tactic. So one tactic in your digital strategy can be ads. One tactic can be an organic reach. One tactic can be what we're doing here, live. There are many things, tactic-wise, single and multiple ones, which in all together finally make a digital strategy. The thing is, for every strategy is always a goal, a set of tactics, a plan of execution, and a strategy is much more long-term established than just tactics. Tactic is, what do I post on Facebook? But the all of a strategy is about, what do we really want to reach with it? What kind of clientele? What end goal do we have? All of that is part of a strategy plan. And there is one big misconception. That's always a little bit where sales and marketing can get scrambled around it. Why Feminist Economy, and especially me being your proudly sales nerd and sometimes called your queen of sales, is a very, you know, that finger, it's called the Lampl finger. It's a very, very essential finger. That's the finger we raise when you tell people what they do. But also it's kind of like, you're doing something wrong finger. So the smaller a company is, the more money you can burn when you do marketing first, sales second. Bigger companies are also burning a hell of money, but since they normally have quite a big sales force, they do what kind of like we always try to tell our clients. You do sales first, marketing second. That's the development process. You think first sales, then marketing. Of course, your client sees first marketing, then sales. But the essential baseline is you focus, baby, on the money, not on the reach, and also not on sympathy or likability. So that's all about today's sales inspiration. No, I'm not ending, I'm kidding. So let's go a little bit deep dive, because this can be a little bit weird around. So the biggest problems we see today in small businesses, solopreneurs, small SMEs and stuff like this is when they talk to us is especially, okay, I want to have more reach, I'm not reaching enough clients, and we're like, okay, do you not reach enough clients? Do you have enough clients? Do you make enough money? Do you really want to have your reach rising, or what is it? If you're a local business and want to establish yourself in the digital world, yes, we're talking about a little bit about reach. But think about you're a very local business. You don't have like a digital store, an online store, or anything. The biggest reach really doesn't help you, because then you're famous, but still people do not buy from you because you're local and you don't have a digital backend. So reach in that kind of case doesn't even make sense. So throw money at a reach rising doesn't even make sense. On the other hand, if you have like digital products, you have like an online course, or do like we digital coaching all around the world, we need a digital strategy, and we of course need reach. But first of all, I need money in the bank, because I have to freaking pay my bills. I have to pay my employees, I have to pay myself. Of course, I need first to focus on money, because otherwise I cannot even have budget to spend on ends. So that doesn't make any kind of sense. But in the last years, and that's kind of like an awful thing we have seen, and since considering we also got these questions, we need more reach. Believe me, the most challenging thing which lands on my desk is if someone comes with a good reach or even a very high reach, and I have to figure out a monetizing strategy. Because the argumentation behind reaching a hell lot of people versus monetizing them is much more challenging than having a even mediocre reach, but monetizing it from the start on with high conversion rates. So considering probably how your 2020 went, or whenever you're watching that video, you will know how well your company performed. And it's essential to know how well will my company perform in the future. How well your company performs in the future is solely dependent on how much conversion, so how much sales you can make to get money in. Because first of all, revenue and profit is the defining factor of if your company is sustainable. Can you feed your family with it? So if you focus on reach and establishing a big reach, you will end up in a world where your conversion is very small, and the steps to rise that conversion are for you very hard, because the strategy is about getting reach. Simple. Ever thought about, no matter your gender, getting that borrowed bikini? Yeah. Posting yourself on every social media account you can think of, and a nice caption on it. It's it probably don't go viral. Who knows? Probably it will, but it's a sure bet for reach. You know, cat content, rainbows and unicorns, perfect. Cute babies, perfect. A lot of reach. Only problem, do you have anything to do with it? Do you have any kind of like, does your cat content kind of makes you money? Mostly not. Yes, there are, of course, and that's always where like the argument comes, but the media companies, yeah, but you're not a media company. Oh, are you selling coaching? You have a digital product, you have an online course, you have anything, but you're not depending on cat content. So, and even in that case, in these extreme cases of where the content doesn't work with your business model, it's reach oriented. The most things we see is reach oriented content. And reach-oriented content is always about easy consumable. The first 2 seconds reach you. It's fast, it's fluffy, and your potential client leaves with a good feeling, and especially with one thing: now he or she knows everything and every all. There is no feeling of, I want more of that. There is no feeling of, yes, I'm going to buy that product because that helped me and I want more stuff from it. So the idea behind all of that is, when you focus on the money, you think differently. You think sales first, and what kind of sales moment I have need supporting by my marketing. So it does make it sense to post a funny bikini photo from me, because I can now establish something about, like, I'm selling bikinis, and of course it makes sense. If I post a bikini photo, everyone will scream. Why? Because I legendary not only once but many times says, if you finally see a full-on bikini shot from me, yes, I'm retiring. That will be me in a bikini photo. Shot will be my retirement photo. Then you finally have the final goal of reach. I don't know if that's even interesting, if that really reaches, but probably down the road, an 80-year-old in a bikini, probably it's a thing. Then who knows? But the thing about it is, if you focus on the money, your conversion itself will immediately rise, because some stuff you just will kick off and it's like, yeah, that's not going to work. The most, and especially if you are a woman and watching that inspiration, or if you're a man with a high degree of service orientation and kind of in that thing that sympathy and harmony are a thing for you, then that second part is very essential. By playing nice, by being harmonious, by playing with sympathy, you will increase your reach. Only problem, you will kill your sales. Because if people like you so much and you offer something where you interact with them in a course or a professional way, like a consulting or coaching session, that likability is going to fuck you over hard. Why? I'm sometimes called not only a badass with a big heart, but I'm like, you're always so blunt. I'm not really blunt. I'm just autistic, and I'm sometimes the only honest person in the room, like telling that looks like shit. That doesn't make sense. People identify honesty today with a certain degree of bluntness. So, but what if I didn't do that? If I didn't curse, if I don't tell you in an early stage, that shit, what are you doing? You will not get successful. And then you will blame me afterwards. Why didn't you tell me? So you see, it's a problem. And especially since considering likability and sympathy, how often do you buy from friends? How often do you call your friends up for helping you out? Normally not. Most of us are not trained to buy from our sisters, from our friends. We're trained to, I don't know, analyze our service provider and anything. So that sympathy and likability kills our sales, cause people then like us and put us in different kind of boxes, but not really in the box of professional service provider. So we have kind of a likability bias. And that's why if you focus on money, you sometimes know that I have to make a decision between being liked and getting money in the bank. One of the common reasons people don't do a sales pitch, because then people will tell you, now you're so salesy, you're telling me what to buy. Yes, I'm telling you every time what you buy. You are, if you're German speaking, get your ass in the Real Business Magic Challenge. You're waiting for the link for badass with a big heart. And if you're English speaking, yes, you still have to book me one-to-one, but we're working at it. It's coming up. We're getting there. It's not a joke. It's a 2020 and everything takes longer than we have established, because something always happens in that year, and our good, perfect working structure always gets a little bit more stretched, but we're getting there. Every video I'm going to make you, there is a sales pitch in it. In the end, you should understand that content is great. She is a little bit, cut a little bit, blunt and has like these devilish horns on her ad, but she will tell you what works, she tells you what doesn't work, and she tells you how to do business a feminist economy way. That's what we're going to do. That's what you're going to buy. And of course, more people will just watch the video. More people just find me funny or whatever, or comment, why do you talk so much English? Because that's the English inspiration. Or under the German situation, why there are so many English words? I don't know, because I like them and I don't give a fucking shit. That is the honest answer. But in the end, people should know what they get. They should not be surprised that in a product, I'm going to tell you that's not a good idea. I know, and one thing for sure, I'm never going to tell you that you as a person are wrong. Never, because you cannot be wrong as a person. You're always right. Your feelings are always right. And you as a person are always right and have an extreme, incredible worth to every one of us. But you can make dumb decisions and you can make wrong decisions in business and you can do a shitty sales communication. Yes, it doesn't have to do anything with you as a person. But let's be honest, that's kind of in a world where we are. And if you don't focus on the money, you will not get to that comfortable stage where you can make mistakes and don't go broke, where you can move the needle and have an impact. But if you focus on your reach, there is no impact. And in business, impact is measured in money in the bank. If you are a big-hearted entrepreneur, then you want to change the world. You want to make an impact in that world you're living in. But your impact, and that's a hard truth you probably have to swallow, your impact is measured by the amount of money you make. Because the amount of money represents the amount of people you really helped. Yes, that free content helps you. That free content should be inspirational, but that free content has to move you and you have to move. And that move will be down the road. Doesn't matter if you hire me or some colleague. Yes, I'm fine with that. But of course, I want that you understand that we can help you, that we can together move the needle a much more higher level. Because we live on the success of our people. We live on the success of other people. Because that makes us not only happy, but also, again, successful, because that's what we get paid for. But the hard truth is, if you look at your numbers, and as an entrepreneur with a big heart, I know it's hard to look at that hard truth, but your reach, your likes, subscribes, shares are not interesting. Really, I'm very sorry. The hard truth is you measure your impact on the money you make and the money you have in the bank. And that represents the real truth about how many people you reach and how many people you really help. The others are nice and fluff and good that you have a high reach and probably help more people. But that's only a small percentage you really help. And that's why you focus on the money and focus on your number and get your ass moving and think about sales first, work your marketing around. Yes, your client will see your marketing first and then your sales, but that's the way to think about it. So focus on the money, baby. And not only in 2020, but also in 2021, all the following years, it makes an impact if you have the money. And measure your own big-hearted entrepreneurial impact by the money you make, not about your reach, none at all. So that was it for today's Salespiration on what you should focus. I hope we see each other again next week for another round of Salespiration time. And so long, keep healthy, keep your sales up, and have a good look at your bank account and probably think about, how the freaking hell do I get more impact, aka more money, and that moving? So see you soon. Bye bye.